Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today it's going to be mostly a yapping stream. We might play something at some point. This might end up being a bit of a short stream. But the idea today, originally, was to unlock the new Pyro skill and play that. So what we've done is, we have just gone and played and grinded effectively this event out. And we have yet to get a single drop of Finalized Phoenix, so we can't unlock the skill yet. And I've literally been spending like dual orbs to get me like additional roaming duelists because I didn't want to like manually grind. And then just grinding and grinding and grinding for about 4 hours whilst I've been doing other stuff. And we just haven't yet got the boy. We're actually not that far away from unlocking Finalized Phoenix with points. So we're going to have it eventually. We don't have it yet, so that was going to be the plan. I will probably continue to grind it at some point. But even so, I don't think the new skill is like particularly like super crazy. It's like, it's fine. I think it's actually not, it's not bad, right? It's borderline just straight up good. But I feel like in the current metagame, it's going to be too slow. So I've been talking about this a little bit on my Discord, but I do think it's going to be like okay into spellcasters, because spellcasters isn't going to look to just like outright kill you. And spellcasters kind of, like, spellcasters can go quite big, but they kind of cap out around like 5k, which like is still quite a lot, but you're going to have to get like 2 or 3 big hits in with those big giant guys to actually close the game out. I think spellcasters in terms of the matchup into Pyro is actually scarier when they change your battle positions, right? Because Pyro monsters tend to either have really low attack or really low defense. Now, there are some of them which have like moderate attack and moderate defense. So we're thinking stuff like, you know, the boss monsters, or specifically Chemicalized Salamander, which has like a decent amount of defense points, right? But outside of like Charmy, like cheesing a win off of Pyro, I think Pyro's going to have a pretty good matchup into that. I don't see it doing super well into Light or Dark Galaxy. But, let's see who we have in chat. We have Crimson Reaper, who was the first one in chat. Hello, Crimson. Video content, and I've seen your banless prediction video. Okay, well, we'll definitely have a chat about that. I haven't actually had a chance to read the comments on that video yet, so I don't know if people are like agreeing with it or disagreeing with it or anything yet, so that'll be interesting to see. We have Ursus in the chat. Hello. We have Draco Kid. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Shadowverse Worlds Beyond Yap stream. Yeah, the Shadowverse World Beyond's stream is currently still going on, so that's been pretty cool. I know a lot of people aren't going to care about other card games, so when we do start talking about other card games, we'll make that very apparent, so people know. For now, we are just going to be yapping about specifically Duel Links, but we'll see where the day takes us. Who else do we have here? We have Quick Quicks. Welcome on in, Quick Quicks. We have Hikari, who drops the first. We have a human Portuguese dub fan. Insert the number of my arrival here. Welcome on in. Yo Tomato, what's good, man? I am pretty good. So in the UK, we are very much used to rain and wind and cold and it being overcast. So whenever we get sun, it's like, oh, that's a nice little treat. But then the sun tends to like outstay its welcome. And after like 4 or 5 days of like just raw heat, you're like, I'm kind of used to being in a kind of cold, windy environment, and now it's very warm. So like my entire wardrobe has to drastically change. Like, you know, windows now need to be open, the fan needs to be gotten out. And it's been a bit tedious, but today is a rain day, which means it's nice and cool, which is actually lovely, especially when I shut myself like in the office. It means, you know, it's not going to get really hot in here, which is lovely. So all things considered, I'm quite happy. And also, the news that we've been getting has been really, really cool. Obviously, I've just gone and met up with a bunch of friends, and we played in the Final Fantasy pre-release, which I thoroughly enjoyed playing in. The Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering stuff has gone onto Magic the Gathering Arena, which has also been very, very enjoyable. We're also getting the new Shadowverse news, which is coming out right now, which is just a big information dump, which is also really, really cool. We should have the ban list out tomorrow for Rush and Speed Duel Links, which is also really, really exciting because that should better shape like our opinions of like what the world's meta is going to be like. Obviously, we won't have that super solidified until the new box comes out, which we are expecting with Yuka, which we are expecting at the end of this month. So like, I feel like there's a lot going on. There's a lot of really cool and interesting things happening right now, and there's a lot of reason to be like excited. Who else do we have? We have Gunkin Suship Shari with the first. Welcome, welcome. I've been watching your content, man. You're really funny. I don't know about really funny. I like to think I try. But I don't know if I'm really funny. But I appreciate the comment either way. I'm pretty sure I got it first, Joel. Well, we can't all be like you, human Portuguese dub fan. Is Pyro still bad? So Pyro, when we first got the Pyro skill, I think it was in a weird spot, but it ended up being pretty good because it sort of directly countered the best deck in the game. Now, there's like some caveat there, but the main thing to take away is, in the right environment, the Pyro deck's kind of always been pretty good. The issue is, I don't think this is the environment for Pyro to thrive. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Just because Pyro still can't deal with set 3. It's like people have been talking about this, and the most I heard was like, oh, you can use like Tribute to the Doomed plus Compulse in the same turn, and then you can get 2 direct attacks and get a lethal line. And I'm like, that is fantastic. How often are you going to have both of your legends set up at the exact right time to actually pop your opponent, right? I don't know how often or how likely that is going to be. It seems a little bit cope to me, but who knows? Who knows? Again, I haven't got the skill yet, so I can't test it myself. When you actually get your hands on the cards and the hands on the skill, sometimes things will kind of click into place and you'll start to see things that weren't there on paper. But from what I've heard, there's been very mixed results. I've got some people telling me the new skill is absolutely busted. It's the best thing in the game. When the new nerfs come in, it's going to be the strongest thing ever. And then I got other people telling me it's really kind of mid. Like, it's not awful, but it's also not super great. Realistically, like, maybe the old skill ends up being better. And it's like getting very contradictory statements. But the main issue is, I think, that no one's really tried this at a tournament yet. So everyone's just ladder grinding. And for the most part, the ladder is not a great place to find out if a deck is going to be super viable. Ladder is like, it's really good for like finding out like ratios, like, oh, am I drawing the cards I need to at the correct times? Am I getting flooded with like high-level monsters? Am I seeing too many spell traps? But it's not generally a good place to find out matchups, especially since when you play ladder, 99% of the time you're going to be playing at spellcasters. So you could get really good at the spellcaster matchup and then not be really good into anything else. As well as the fact ladder players are very hit or miss. Sometimes they're going to be really, really good. Sometimes they're going to be really, really not. And that can drastically sway the results, right? Same, almost there with points. I wanted to use it on stream. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it just, because I'll probably make a video about it. It's one of those weird ones where it's not really a new deck, but it kind of is, right? There's not going to be really any new cards. I don't think we're going to play probably either of the 2 new cards currently, like in the current iteration of the deck, but who knows? But hello, Hikari. There's no other, we should do an exclamation mark Hikari since Hikari's in the chat. There's the exclamation mark Hikari. Everyone should make sure to give Hikari a follow if they haven't already. I'm sure everyone here already has, but we make sure we give the shout out regardless. We have Dwan in the chat who's on a 10 stream streak. Hello, Dwan. Welcome on in. I have 3 Phoenix, but no Methyl. I have, at the moment, I guess we can just hop over here for a sec. We have 0 still finalized Phoenix. We do have 3 Methyl at the moment. So that's at least something, right? It's nothing like super exciting, but that's what we have. And that is indeed what we have. Ethel next box, surely. So I think that would be pretty cool. The only issue is, and I think I said this in when we were talking about the upcoming set anyway, is Ethel gets back Methyl. And when Maddox goes away again, he won't be at the gate immediately. So they could speed him up coming to the gate, which isn't like, that's probably fine. It'll probably be like maybe a week early sort of thing. So like it's not going to be like a drastic speed up. But getting Ethel without having access to Methyl is going to be really weird. So again, they could just speed it up or just do it. Like, it could be fine. Today we're going to talk about Pyro is the worst deck of the game. Joke. I mean, we kind of have been a little bit, right? Like, I think Pyro is fine, but it doesn't feel like it's a standout deck. I would maybe even make the argument, I think that Dragonic might actually be a little bit better than Pyro. Now again, without actually testing, it's hard to say. And when I was testing Dragonic, we were playing, obviously, a very strange build, right? We were playing we were basically playing Dragonic Inferno. Is that what it's called? Yeah. We were playing the Blaster's Inferno. This was the build we were playing, which is playing like Volcano Attack Dragon, Secret Order, and Dragonic Pressure. This deck felt pretty good. But that's because this deck is just Dark Galaxy Light, right? We wipe the board with Pressure. We use Secret Order to bring back Volcano Attack Dragon. In a weird way, this deck is kind of Chaos Galaxy if Chaos Galaxy was bad, right? That's kind of what this deck is. Because we have Slayer instead of Plasma, right? We have lots of ways to plus, like Demolisher, instead of using something like Fuse Eve, for example, or Extraplorer. We do have our not Galactica Oblivion. We've got the Secret Orders. I would prefer Combustion Oni. Combustion Oni, though, is really, really good. And Combustion Oni is another weird card where it's a strange scenario it kind of finds itself in. Let's hop over to here. And we can have a look quick. So if we go to this one. There we go. That's a little bit better. So we're going to take a look at Combustion Oni real quick. So this guy is really, really, really strong, right? So his stats are okay. They're not fantastic. They're not awful, right? They're not Singlex 0. Each player sends the top 2 cards to the next to the graveyard. Okay, that's immediately good. Having cards in your graveyard is good. Milling your opponent, not the best, but it could be okay. Then you reduce the level of one face-up level 3 to 8 monster on your opponent's field by 1 or 2. So this lets you, like, mill, which is good because Pyro doesn't really have, like, great milling outside of the skill at the moment. Not really. And we get to reduce the level of a monster. Now, this level reduction on a monster is actually kind of insane because this card was being paired with another card that was really, really good. Now I have to remember what it was called. It was Mad Rare. This thing. So this card was a part of a 2-card combo. These 2 cards, for the longest time, would just be slotted into absolutely every deck in the OCG. Because they're just really, really strong together. So Mad Rare Aquila. If your opponent has 2 or more monsters in their field, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. This turn, this card can attack twice. Okay? Then you can destroy 1 face-up level 6 effect monster on your opponent's field. So this is why this card was so good, because this card came out as like a deterrent to Execute, which at the time was like the best card ever, right? So what people would do is they would use Oni Bunsel to reduce level 7 and 8 monsters to 6 so they could pop them with Aquila. Aquila then gets to double attack, and if it destroyed a monster, it also gains 600. So this becomes a 1900 double attacking monster that also just gets rid of your opponent's boss. Obviously, it won't work against fusions, right? But it depends what kind of meta you're in as to whether or not it's going to be relevant, right? But Bunsel's still really, really good, right? This card is amazing. There's, like, little things you can do with this where, like, level requirements are going to matter. Pyro's a cool deck, but I prefer Slayer. Analyze with Combustion will be very good. Yes, Analyze could be very, very cool with this. I mean, let's grab that up quick. Analyze. So this is the one we currently have, and the main reason this card is actually not too bad at the moment is because of its defense stat. Just having 2300 defense can be very relevant, especially in like a charming meta, right? Send a spell check for hand to the graveyard, shuffle 3 Pyro monsters from your graveyard into the deck, whose total levels equal the total levels of attack position level 8 or lower monsters on the opponent's field. So the idea is we can reduce their level by 2, try and like finagle it so that we can get the right levels, and also fills up our graveyard to pay the cost, which is pretty good. The only thing wrong with this card is this line here is just really, really annoying. Being able to only attack with 1 monster is like, it's really not great. It's really not great. But that's kind of my thoughts and feelings on Pyro. There's not... I don't think it's going to be super great. realistically, I really don't think it's suddenly going to see like an uptick in play. Now, again, we are about to see the new ban list come in tomorrow, and tournaments will immediately put that into effect. So we could see people experiment with it. We could see like an uptick in the number that are there, and then just because the number that has gone up, like naturally some of those will slip through the cracks, maybe get some tops. But I don't think it's going to like really grab a hold of the tournaments and start like winning them like left, right, and center. Pyro is a rogue like Slayer. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel as well, Luis Fernando. I'm basically on the same page as you. That being said, it's still a really cool deck, right? But the hope of the Pyro is fusions? Yes. Well, when we get the Pyro fusions, there is some like really busted stuff in there, right? So like if we jump over here quick. So if we go fusion, we go Pyro. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. So, the obvious one is going to be Alchemicalized Salamandra. This card is just incredible, right? Being able to pop all your opponent's back row is insane. Being able to reduce the attack of all your opponent's monsters by up to 3,000 is kind of insane. But the main issue this card's going to have is we already have Compulse. So if Compulse is being used in every single deck, the power of Alchemicalized Salamandra is going to go down drastically. Because, you know, you summon it, your opponent compulses it, or you feel it, and then like, you just can't commit to Salamandra. So it's like, it's kind of a bit awkward. So that's why when I made my video talking about ban list predictions and wish list, that's why I specifically, or one of the reasons why I was like, we should try and take Compulse away from the stronger decks in the same way we took Negate Attack away from the stronger decks last Worlds, right? But the meta of Negate, this will be insane. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I mean, this card is just fantastic, right? Wipe out your opponent's back row. If they've got monsters in attack position, you absolutely punish them. The only big issue this card has is it still doesn't beat set 3 pass. So we're still going to need something else, right? Now, we have options, right? We have Meat Spice. This just lets you burn through it. So that would give you a way to technically beat it, right? We could have a Piercing Body. Now, it's not the best piercing body, but it's also not the worst either. It doesn't really work very well with the rest of the deck, because obviously it's a noodle card. It's not really meant to be a chemicalized card. But just having a big piercer just gives you the option, right? Then we have this one is not super good for piercing, but like it's good for like just getting a load of damage in. Now, Alchemicalized Orb is fantastic. The issue is, I don't think we're going to get Orb this early, especially since it needs Aqua or Thunders. I think the chances of this card coming out before we get the effectively the maximum, all the support for the Fire Aqua, Fire Thunder, Fire Pyro, until we get all of those support cards, I don't think this is likely to come out. Why is Orb's name in Japanese, lol? So it's any of the cards that are like a lot more modern have their Japanese card art. Any of the cards that are really old have their English card art. That's basically how they've done it on DLM at the moment. Come on, Konami, let's revive maximums. I mean, they have to, right? I still think it would make sense to release Phaser in September. I still think that would make sense, right? You release Phaser, I don't know if you immediately put Vocalized Phoenix in there, but you could, right? But, like, Phaser has, like, effectively 3 maximums. He's got 2 maximums that he plays, and then his brother Tremolo plays the other maximum. That's 3 different maximums you could immediately throw into the game. Theoretically as well, there is more spellcaster support, because in the very first, like, time when we see Phaser's maximum, it's playing against Chariot, which is another spellcaster support. So I guess we'll open this quick. So this is made using Seven's Red Magician and Magiarm's Beast Gearpard. So these are 2 high-level monsters. And this was the primary reason that Seven's Wonder Fusion came out, was so you could fuse these 2 high-level monsters a bit easier. But send the top card of the deck to the graveyard. This card gains attack equal to the number of cards in both players' spell and traps zones times 500 until the end of this turn. That's going to be a maximum of a bonus of 6,000. A lot of the time, though, this ends up being just like 45, 5k if you're lucky. This turn, this card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. This is the other effect, right? So either you get the attack boost, or you get the ability to not be popped. And then you can destroy face-up cards, only face-up, very important, on your opponent's field up to the number of cards in your spell and trap zone. So, like, this card could come out along with that, right? Potentially. The problem with the fusion with Tiger, you can't outwitch. Maybe with a skill. I mean, yeah, we would expect this skill. Every time we get any kind of brand new boss, it usually comes with some sort of skill, right? But yeah, in my mind, we just... That is the big reveal. The issue is that's not a huge enough reveal to be, like, super exciting. So that's why I think we're going to get the DM thing. Because, obviously, we had a data mine previously, which showed that we got a shit ton of DM character IDs. So I think that's going to be like the primary Duel Links reveal. It's going to be like, oh, DM something, like everyone's getting a new skin, or we're revealing a bunch of like anime only characters, like the Waking the Dragons stuff, right? The Orichalcos arc, whatever we want to call them. I think that's going to be like the big thing. And then like the little side thing on the side is going to be like, also, we're doing Go Rush Maximums. We're going to be releasing Phaser. Maybe we're going to tease Vocalize Phoenix. Maybe we're going to release a structure deck that has a maximum in it, because we're still missing quite a lot of them. We still need to get the Dragius maximum. We still need the Skystream maximum. Like, we still need Blaze Fiends. I think Blaze Fiends would be perfect. Absolutely perfect. No leaks or ban list update. So ban list update should be tomorrow, Manicist. And it should not come with any leaks. The leaks should be on the 17th, I believe. I believe the 17th is the next core app update. We'll go and have a look quick. It should be in here somewhere. That's the 9th. Usually it's like in here somewhere. It might just not be in here yet. But I'm pretty sure it's on the 17th is when we get the next... Here we go. After updating version 9.9.0, which is planned to release around the 17th of June. So, 17th, we should be getting new leaks. That is going to be the new Yuka leaks, the new skill leaks, and maybe some card leaks. But I would expect skill leaks on the 17th. That is when I would expect that. Phaser! I know how much you want Phaser. I know how much you want it. Rhynek and Sevens Road will be very good in Sevens. Yes, if we can get the fusion between Sevens Road and Rhynek, that'd be obviously pretty fun as well. Sevens can pass the 3 boss with Rhynek fusion and Sevens. I'm so out of the loop. Well, I mean, you got to get back on the horse at some point, Menikis. You got to get back on the horse. I hope you're hope you haven't been too busy as of late. But yeah, like, there's going to be some cool stuff, right? So tomorrow is going to be, what, the 13th? So on the 13th, I guess for some people it'll be later on today, because depending on where you're on the world, we'll be getting the ban list updates. Then it will only be about 4 days after that we should get the new leaks. So it should be a very, very exciting upcoming week. I'm going to shoot and eat the horse. That's probably not ideal. That's probably not ideal. Maybe a chariot. Maybe you should get on a chariot instead. But yeah, I think maximums make sense. I'm not really sure what the DM stuff is going to be, though, right? Because even if... Right, let's just speculate quickly, right? If they release Waking the Dragons characters, right? So we get, what, Raphael, Alistair, the armor guy, what was his name? Valen? Maybe, like, Orichalcos Mai, because she has, like, she joins up with them. You get Darts. Let's just say, like, all of those become characters, right? What cards do you give them? Because all of their cards are made up. They're all anime-exclusive cards. So do we just start releasing a ridiculous number of anime-exclusive cards? Because we do have that. The penguin guy? You want Crump? You want to play as Crump? I mean, I'm not against playing as Crump. But again, the virtual world arc is, again, it's all made up. It's all a bunch of made up cards. Now, some of those cards did end up being real, right? But not all of them. So it creates another weird situation where are we just going to do a Dark Side of Dimensions where we put people like Scud in, and we put people like, what's the little girl called? Sarah? And then we just give them, like, different archetypes. Like, Sarah plays, what, Constella, I think? 100% not ideal. Hello, How, by the way. Welcome, welcome. We should give a shout out to How while How is here. See if we can spell it correctly. Bam, we got it, we got it. All made up, plus won't be strong enough on release. It could easily meme characters like Tristan. Exactly, exactly. But that's what I mean. It's weird. I don't think... So in my mind as well, you could... Right. We've already mentioned this a few times in the past, but if we just did time skip Go Rush, it's not exciting enough to be an entire world. But you could just dump a bunch of skins on all of the Go Rush characters to give them their adult self, their slightly more grown-up self, because there's like a 2 to 3 year time skip in Go Rush. Some of the characters become a lot more likable, like Yuhi becomes, I don't know, a bit edgier, and his demeanor changes and everything. So I think that would be a really cool way to add effectively a bunch of characters without actually forcing a bunch of new characters. You could treat it like a new world update where you basically get a bunch of new gems and stuff. I think that would work quite well. But it's not exciting enough to be a whole app update. But the time skip is also when the Go Rush maximums get introduced, so it would also thematically make sense. So in my mind, you do whatever the DM thing is, and you do like, oh, that's the big speed update. And then for Rush, you do the time skip, which is like it's not a new world, but like it introduces like time skip outfits for everyone, which is kind of like having like 5 new characters, right? And then dump the Go Rush maximums. Like, to me, that just works. That works really well. Zuijo's skin in the human form. I think, yeah, the only real negative is Zuijo and Udius don't really get different outfits. They'll just kind of be wearing the same thing. So, like, it's great for all the other characters, not so much for the Valkyrians. Skins for Duel Links. Yeah, it's basically what we have for Soulbirder and Flame, right? Where it's like a new character, but it's kind of just a skin. But that is what I think would be... I think that would be easy. I think that wouldn't require too much effort or time or money from Konami to implement. And I think it's enough to keep everyone happy. An ad is something about to go downhill? Oh no, has Dragson got an ad? Because we don't even have ads playing yet. In the human form? Oh, are you talking about when he gets put into Quidle's deck and he's wearing the t-shirt? Is that that as a skin? Oh, no, you're talking about when he's a chef, right? When he owns a restaurant. And he's got the hat with like the ponytail. Ad issues just sub. I think it's because Dragson like doesn't get ads. Like whenever we've been saying like, oh no, the ads are here, Dragson's always the one who's like, what ads? So for him, it's like a big deal. Okay, but with all of that being said, I did want to talk a little bit about Brad's new video. So everyone here, you should already know who Brad is, right? Everyone here knows Brad. Brad is amazing. Brad does fantastic content. Brad is basically the guy running DLM at this point. Brad does absolutely everything for this community. And Brad has been undercover on the Chinese servers. And Brad has been playing 2 different modes, right? So they have their own, like, Duel Links, like, version. It's just, like, Chinese Duel Links. But then they also have Duel Links Classic, or, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Classic mode. There you go, Duel Links Classic is what he calls it in the video title. And this is really weird, but also really, really cool. I'm new to Brad. I'm new here. Are you new here, How? I don't know who Brad is. You don't know who Brad is? Brad's amazing. You should subscribe to Brad. Brad's, like, fantastic. But basically, this is, like, a weird game mode where, again, here we have the rules, right? So there's no skills. 40 card main deck, 8,000 life points, no main phase 2, draw on turn 1, no erratas or... So it does have the OG effects, right? So if a card did something when it was originally printed, it has that version of its effect. And a TCG style ban list, so if something's limit 1, you could play as many limit 1s as you want. You just can only play one of that card, right? So it's basically Yu-Gi-Oh! Light, right? But it's not speed duels, because there are no skills. And also your starting hand is the normal. So it's anime, but limited. It's not really anime. It's kind of like... It's basically like classic TCG, kind of. But with no main phase 2. And that's it. It's just kind of that. Like the only thing... Well, I guess only 3 monster and spell trap zones is the other change. But other than that, it's just TCG, right? 5-stream streak. More power! Master Duel but 3 zones. Yeah, basically. It is Master Duel but 3 zones. You know, you start out with 5 cards in hand, right? It's a really interesting thing that they have. And the card releases are also really weird. Each character... So, instead of, like, unlocking them, like we would, like, during an event, you have to, like, buy them. It looks like we're about to have ads as well, so we'll just probably wait for the ads to go away. Can you order CLs? I'm trying to work out what CL is. What is a CL? My brain is not keeping up at the moment. When I Google CL, I get South Korean rapper and singer. I'm pretty sure we're not trying to order her. Chain links. I don't know. I don't think he actually goes into that in this. Because it's got a name, right? There's, I can't remember what it's called, but there's like the name for like the old way that chain links used to resolve, where if it's like a mandatory effect, it has to go first or whatever. Mini Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, basically mini Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? So we would have to re-unlock the characters again for this specific event. So this, again, this isn't an event, right? So when you boot up the game in China... So first off, we should specify, Chinese Duel Links is not like regular Duel Links, right? It is a completely different kettle of fish. They have a different card pool. In Chinese Duel Links, they are, I believe, just now getting link summoning, right? So they are very far behind. Segok, yeah, Segok. That's it, Segok. See, Dwan those. All right, we are in the ads now, so we're going to wait for the ads to go away, and then we will continue the discussion. What she look like? We might order her. I mean, I can get you some pictures if you want. Just for you, Manicist. There you go. This is CL. This is Chain Link. Just for you. Just for you. Alright, we're halfway through the ads. Oh, the ads will go away in a minute. Then we can get back. Pass. I love how picky you are. Like, she's not an unattractive woman. Let me know when the ad hit. I mean, the ad is going on for another 30 seconds. And then when the ad goes away, we will continue. But for now, we'll just enjoy the music. I have to make sure the music is actually playing. Yeah, it is. Okay, we're fine. It's very important to have the Sonic music blasting when we're just yapping about Yu-Gi-Oh! Jesus, high standards. Exactly, exactly. She's probably a lovely young girl. Alright. So, instead of unlocking characters, like the way you traditionally do, you have to buy them, right? So you can buy them with in-game currency. You don't have to, like, you know, buy them with whatever. And then when you get a character, you unlock their starter deck, and their starter deck has, like, some weird stuff in it. I don't really want to just, like, react to the video, because this is a brand new video. So, after we finish talking about this, I'm going to link the video. Like, otherwise we would just watch it, right? But I don't want to... If it's weird to watch someone else's video, like, the day that they've posted it, just... I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me. But they also have different boxes. So, like, this is an example of their box. We've got, what? Book of Eclipse in with Secret Order. We got some of the Reptilian... No, these aren't these Reptilians? Yeah, these are Reptilians. I'm trying, because there's so many different, like, archetypes that are reptiles. Like, down here we've got the worms as well. But it's just really cool. Like, this is another box which has, like, Lava Golem in it. I hate this card so much. We'll just get rid of Lava Golem. But again, it's just interesting to see how this works. And also we have Pre-Errata Night Assailant as well, which just means infinite hand looping. But I would love to play this, personally. I think this would be really, really cool to play. But you need to play Chinese Duel Links to get it, and I think setting up Chinese Duel Links is kind of a pain. Oh, this was the other thing that he was talking about. They have, like, a separate mode called, like, Conquest, where you can only play with, like, a specific card pool. So this card pool specifically, I think, had, like, some of the Chaos stuff, Light Swans, Battery Men, like, basically, like, late GX format. Face is too angular. Okay. Smoke Grenade at 3? Exactly. I mean, at the beginning, they did, yeah, he did, I think, talk about the ban list, actually. See if we can find it quick. Here we go. So what was it? It was, I think it was Graceful Charity had just been banned. It just, like, slowly. There we go. Graceful Charity is now banned in Chinese Duel Links. We've got these all limit 1. Which is, it's very just amusing. Like, Super Poly is released here as well. Which, it kind of makes sense, right? Because Super Poly was a GX card. But, like, nobody really played it back in GX. But I just think this is just really cool. And like I say, I would love to play this. Well, this is the other weird thing. Is they're just now introducing Synchro Summoning. Which, like, timeline-wise does make sense, right? Because, you know, they're kind of at the end of GX, right? So starting 5Ds does make sense. But they've also, with Synchro Summoning, they've now introduced the EMZ. So I think that's really weird, right? Am I not alone in that? That, like, why are we releasing the EMZ with Synchros? Like, we didn't do that for us, right? And again, you have to remember as well, there are two different versions of this game. So Classic is now has just received Synchros, right? So Synchros are now out in Classic. In Chinese Duel Links, they have just gotten Link Summoning. So the two different games, one's just gotten Synchros, one has just gotten Link Summons. Yeah, GX didn't see a super use Super Poly because you would have to be fighting the same deck for Super Poly to be worth anything. Otherwise, it was a dead card in the deck. Yeah, and we also had, like, such a reduced number of, like, what, like, modular fusions, right? There was, like, oh, off the top of my head, there was, like, the Gemini one that's made out of 2 Gemini monsters. So if your opponent was just playing a Gemini monster, you could use that on that. But other than that, that's kind of it, right? But yeah, that's kind of it for that. I just thought this was, like, a really cool conversation piece. I think it's just a really cool thing. It would be really nice if we could get some version of this. So there's the link to Brad's video if anyone wants to check it out themselves. I do highly recommend checking it out. Obviously, fantastic video, fantastic person. Really, really, really good. The next thing I want to talk about is Shadowverse Beyond. So this is a game. This is a brand new game based on a existing game. And this game is coming out in 5 days. So 5 days, this is going to be a brand new game. I've already got Hikari sending me messages saying that she wants to, like, collab and do this on stream. So we'll probably be having a Shadowverse stream at some point in the future. But this game is going to be, like we say, it's a brand new online card game, digital card game. It's going to be fun. I would assume. There's going to be loads of rewards, loads of packs to open. Getting in on a card game, like, on the ground level, when it is brand new, I think is always really, really exciting. Because whenever you join a card game late, you always have this feeling of, like, oh, I'm going to be behind. Everyone's already been playing this game for so long. The meta's already solved. This is going to be completely fresh, right? So I think this is going to be really awesome. Tomato doing more advertising for Worlds Beyond than side games. I'm just looking forward to it. I'm just excited. I just want to talk about it. I haven't played Shadowverse in so long. Beat the Switch game. Nice, nice. I played the original Steam game. I didn't play it, like, a lot, but I played it kind of very casually, and I did enjoy what I played of it. But, like, some of this stuff is just really cool, right? It looks like we're getting... But they also just revealed a load of the first set, and this is kind of like the first we've really gotten out of it, outside of, like, the trial decks that they were letting people play with for like press releases and stuff, like demos. 16th and on Steam based. Yeah, I think it's 17th for me, but I think it might be 16th for some other countries. I'm not exactly sure. But it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. Albert, my beloved. I mean, I think Albert's cool. I think Albert is probably going to be the go-to for everyone that's like, that really likes the pretty boys. This is what I saw on stream. This, by the way, this does so much for me, right? Now, first off, summoning this card literally requires a spreadsheet. But just the art of this guy, I love mechs. This guy looks so cool, right? His effect is also incredible, right? Fanfare deal 5 damage to enemy followers, restore 5 defense to your leader. So that's basically 5 AoE damage to the board, heal 5. And then Storm, Ward, and Aura, which is just like, that's what, like haste. Ward is like, it's like Divine Shield, I guess. I can't remember what Aura does. But like, to summon this card, let me see if they have the spreadsheet. I don't know if they're going to have it on here or not. Here we go. Yeah, this is like the spreadsheet. This is the blueprint for Masterwork Artifact Omega. Yeah, 16th for us in the UK. There we go then. Ward is torn. There we go. Ward is torn, not Divine Shield. So, you have to like get these gears, you fuse the gears, and then you get like the first form. And then you need to add on something else. And then you get the second form. And then you can combine all 3 of the second form into Masterwork Artifact Omega. And I don't know, there's something about this that makes me think this is not going to be competitive, but my god, is it going to be fun. And I just love the idea of this. And again, I'm a big mech fan. And I believe this is Portalcraft as well. Yeah, it is Portalcraft. So this is going to be exciting. This is a very complex maximum. I mean, it literally is, right? This is Magnum Overlord, or this is what's he called? Magnus from what's the archetype called that fuses the 3 together? You know the one I'm talking about, right? The blue, green, and red. What is that archetype called? Just having like a massive brain fart moment. You know the one. You know the one. Everyone knows the one. Right, we'll mute this. I want to see them summon it. If he actually summons it in this game, I want to see it. Here we go. So we're combining the 2 gears. And then that creates Striker Artifact in hand. Then we're combining that with another gear. Then we've collected 2 pieces in our hand. We've summoned both of them. And then if we have all 3, we can combine all 3 to summon, to add it. So, okay, so we don't actually have to summon them. We could actually just combine them from hand. That just looks so cool. Super Quants, that's it. Yeah, Super Quants. When you mentioned blue, green, and red, I just immediately thought of the Power Rangers. I mean, it kind of is, right? Like, they're all a reference to the same sort of thing. But yeah, I am really looking forward to some of these cards as well. Like, some of these cards as well, just the art is so good, man. Can attack 3 times per turn with Rush, which is like haste, right? Follower... I can't remember. What is Rush called in Hearthstone? Is it just haste? I can't remember what it is. But destroy the opposing follower and follower strikes really good. But yeah, like I say, I'm looking forward to this. This comes out very shortly. So, you know, if anyone's interested in this, they should like wishlist it or pre-register on their phone. I'm very, very much looking forward to this. And now, we're going to talk about the next thing that I have been doing quite a lot. And that is Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy. So I don't really have like anything like prepared for this. But I have been, the last couple of days, I've been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering on Magic the Gathering Arena. And this is because they've literally just added the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering stuff on there, which is very, very cool. Now, what I've specifically been doing is I've been doing something called Premier Draft. So anyone that doesn't know, what that means is you spend a chunk of currency and then you draft with 7 other players. So we'll each open a pack, we'll take 1 card and we'll pass the pack along, and then We'll take another card, pass it along, pass it along, pass it along, pass it along. Now, that's all fine and dandy. The issue is, you don't get locked into those people when you actually play your games. Then you just play with the deck you've made on like a ladder with other people that have done the same thing. Now, the issue there is, if you're playing a physical draft, you can do something called hate drafting, which is when you specifically take cards because you don't want your opponents to get them, right? So, for example, if you've worked out, oh, the guy on my left is playing, like, red, and a really, really powerful red card comes along, you could take that to be like, I'm not going to use this, but I don't want you to have it. There's nothing else in this pack I really want. That doesn't work here, because you're not super likely to play against one of the people that you actually drafted with. And what that can also mean is, if you get into a draft situation where the people you're drafting with are very, very good, they can take all the good cards and then not leave you really much to go with. But that's fine if everyone's on the same playing field. The issue is, if someone else is drafting and the people they're drafting with aren't taking the best cards, they can suddenly build a very, 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 very powerful deck very, very easily. So you could just queue into someone who has gotten really, really lucky and also was drafting with people that they weren't like completely on the same page as like knowing what they were doing. And because of that, they get rewarded with an unbelievably powerful deck. And that can get a little bit frustrating because, like, obviously it's a lot of RNG, right? You're opening booster packs, building a deck out of that. So you're not going to have a lot of control over your deck building. So if you're just against someone that's like pulled really well or just got given loads of really, really good cards, it can kind of suck. And usually that's not the end of the world. The issue is that it costs quite a lot of currency to actually sign up to play in these. And because of that, it's a little bit frustrating if you get kind of the short end of the stick. The other thing is Magic the Gathering has the land system, which is a fine system. The only issue being, if you do get too many lands, you're probably going to lose, because if you need cards to play, but you're drawing lands that don't do anything, you're kind of just passing your turn. It's like you didn't draw a card for turn. And the inverse is also true. If you have too few lands, you can't play the cards in your hand. So it's like playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And having your hand full of high-level monsters, where you just can't do anything. So that's kind of a little bit annoying. A land system where, if I remember back in 2022, water decks were busted. It's one of those weird... So Magic the Gathering specifically is also a really weird game, because there are so many different formats. So whenever someone's like, you know, X deck was very good, it's like you sat there like, okay, are we talking like Commander? Are we talking Standard? Are we talking Legacy? Are we talking Modern? Because typically it used to be the go-to was Standard, and everyone was talking about Standard. But more and more recently, Standard has become less and less popular. So now when people talk about Magic, usually they're talking about Commander, like that's the new most popular. And then after that, it's kind of like Modern and Legacy, and then kind of Standard is now like the least most exciting one. It's like it becomes a bit more blurry when we're trying to work out like what format everyone's like talking about. But it's an interesting one because, like I say, we've had a lot of fun, right? Like a lot of the runs we've had, we got like max wins, absolutely fantastic. But sometimes it's just not gone that way. And I think a big draw of this set specifically is going to be that it's all Final Fantasy stuff. So if you're a Final Fantasy fan, there's like added incentive because you're going to get to play with these really cool Final Fantasy cards. You know, a lot of people have probably played Final Fantasy 7. You get to play as Cloud. You get to play with Sephiroth. You get to have all these like really, really cool cards, all these different characters from across all the different games. And that's really cool. But when you get down to like the actual gameplay of the set itself, the set isn't actually that bad. It's not like an S+. This is amazing. Drafting the set is absolutely incredible. But it's pretty fun. It's not... Like I say, it's not incredible. It's not the best set of all time. But it's fun. And I think that's what really the takeaway is. The issue that I've had is that I think there are some colors that are like better than others. And the problem when you are drafting a set like that is if everyone cottons on that one set might be a bit weaker, nobody takes those cards, and then suddenly it becomes a lot scrappier to try and get your hands on like an actual competitive deck. Because the other thing is, in a draft, sometimes you just want to experiment, right? Sometimes you want to try out the new stuff. So you want to try maybe some cards that aren't super strong, but then because you're paying to enter a draft, you're disincentivized from experimentation. And I think that's a little bit of a shame. Which, again, it just kind of is part of the territory, right? Like, realistically, if you're going to be paying to enter it, it's effectively gambling, but then technically whenever you enter any kind of tournament, like especially a physical tournament, because whenever you enter a physical tournament, you're going to have to pay an entry fee, right? And if you're paying an entry fee and there's a chance you get stuff at the end, well, you're effectively gambling. So, I don't know, that's what I've spent a lot of time doing. Like, the last couple of days, I have done a lot of drafting. It's been really, really fun, and I think there are like some good points and some bad points realistically. But with that being said, I mean, I don't really want to like start anything, and we've kind of talked about everything. Again, the plan today was to basically play Rush, but we haven't really been able to do that, right? Is MTGA free-to-play friendly? I have spent 0 money on MTGA. I can tell you that much. Let me boot it up quick. I can boot it up. We can take a look-see. We can take a looky-look. But yeah, I have spent literally no money on it whatsoever. I can tell you that much. I think the game is reasonably free-to-play friendly, personally. I'll tell you, we've even got some packs to open, so we'll go ahead and do a pack opening. This is something I don't usually do even with Yu-Gi-Oh! But we'll do a quick pack opening. Oh, we got Kefka's Tower. We've got Xenos, we've got Stiltskin, we've got Esper's Origins, Summoner's Grimoire. Hey, we got Sin Spear's Punishment. And then as our big fancy card, we got the Buster Sword. We got the Buster Sword, ladies and gentlemen. Who doesn't love the Buster Sword? But yeah, I mean, the game is like, effectively, it's like any other online live service game, right? You'll log in and you'll have quests. So like right now, my current like mission is to cast 20 red or green spells. So if I do this, I'll get some currency. If I save up enough currency, I can then spend that to either go buy packs or I can play like the different modes. If I go to the limited section, these are like the Final Fantasy modes I can do. The one that I've been doing lately is this one, which is Premier Draft. This requires either 10,000 coins, which, I mean, you can't see it because it's underneath the camera. It's 10,000 coins, which right now up here we have 4,900. Or 1,500 gems, and right now up here we have 7,090. Like, it's not too bad to do, right? Apparently I'm still stuck in the tutorial. Well, that's not ideal. That is just generally not ideal. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll change our... Since, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't really happening, we're going to change our category to Magic the Gathering. And then we will just change our name. And we're gonna do a draft. We're just gonna do a draft. We're gonna do one draft. We're gonna see how well we can do. We're probably not gonna do particularly well, but we'll see how it goes. So we should have changed our category now. Let's jump in. Let's jump in and see what we can do. So again, we're going to have to start out with the actual draft itself. So we'll be taking one card from each pack, passing it around, and seeing how that goes. And then we'll actually be playing with the deck. Ban Rush. Well, right now, we're not even just banning Rush, Kim Friend. We're completely off of Duel Links right now. Tomato cheats on Rush Duel Live. I mean, I do like playing lots of different card games. You know, do not take this as, like, I'm no longer playing, like, Duel Links or anything. This is just, like, we're on a break, right? Starting Town is really good. There's, like, no super crazy bomb. I think I'm going to take Ride the Shupuff. Ride the Shupuff is generally a really good card. It's nothing like super crazy broken, but if we get this turn 2, it's really, really strong. Basically, it has landfall, which is whenever a land comes into play. Or it even says that on it. You can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, which is just really, really good. As long as we get low level or low costing creatures, it's really fantastic. Okay, let's take that. Ultima is good. Samurai Katana is also really good. But also, Balanti Rexor is really good. There's a lot of really good cards in here. I don't really want to, like, hard lock into my second color yet, but... Like, this is really good. Alright, I'm going to take the Katana. We'll see if we regret that. We'll see if we do regret that. This is white. I mean, this is also really good, but... Here it's got to be Chocobo, I think. Fat Chocobo is so good. Crystal's Chosen is kind of eh. Red Mage's Rapier I'm also not a big fan of. There's not a lot of red cards coming around, which tells me there might be a demand for red in this draft, which could be a little bit awkward for us, because obviously we've tried to start going red. We could pivot. We only have one red card at the moment. But we're kind of all in on green at the moment. Rise to Shupa, Fat Chocobo, and Ochu are all really good cards. I mean, Barrett's pretty good. There's still a decent amount of red in here, so I'm not, like, super against sticking with it for now. Barrett, just in general, is a decent 4-drop. I think we're going to take Barrett here. Alright, once again, there's not really any red here. It's got to be one of these two. Blitzball Shot is really good. Iron Giant gives us some endgame. I think I'm going to take Iron Giant. Because we don't want to get to the point where we don't have, like, a lot of late game stuff to play. Shopkeep is fine. We don't have a lot of red at the moment, or weapons. Chocobo Kick is just really good removal. I think we're going to take Chocobo Kick. So this is the other thing. Now we're waiting for packs to come around. So some people have lots of packs and they're waiting. So this guy has 2 packs, so he's going to pass one on to him and then he's going to get one and then I'm eventually going to get the pack. Let's see. Let's see if the pack ever makes its way around to us. So he's finally got a pack. So once he's picked one, we'll finally get to choose another card. Oh, he's now got 2. And then it's a Gauntlet Knockout. So basically, once we have a deck created, that's it. We are no longer attached to these other players. Then we just keep playing in a ladder against people that have done this same thing until we lose 3 times. Oh, Racetrack. Racetrack is so good. Triple Triad's also really good, and I like these 2 as well, but I think it has to be Racetrack. So we're going to want some extra lands if possible. I'm not a big fan of Random Encounter, if I'm honest. I think I'd rather have Item Shopkeep. I would like to get more equipment. We have not been seeing much of that just yet. Crossroads Village is, like, okay. It's not really great. I'll take Weapons Vendor. I don't know if we're going to use Weapons Vendor, but we'll take it for now. I mean, here it's just Blazing Bomb. It's just a good 1-drop. Again, that's probably going down there. So we put stuff in our sideboard that's just like stuff that isn't our colours that we're just realistically not going to use. Okay. That would have been a cool card to have earlier, but at this stage we're not going to pivot into that. This is good. This, I'm not a big fan of Queen Brawn. It's never really worked out for me. So with that in mind, I think it has to be Bard's Bow. That was unfortunately not... The first pack you get, when you get like the first pick from it, you really want it to be really, really good. So having a really bad first pack there is really not ideal. And then this second pack is also really bad. Because we're looking for like just strong red and green cards, and there's just nothing going on there. I mean, Clash of the Icons is okay, but like, we're looking for like a bomb, right? Something really, really powerful. The second I see Choco, I'm taking it for the collection. Well, I could just like make the cards I need for the collection, right? Like, that's fine for me. Are the card rarities per pack predetermined? Yes. So the most you'll get is 2 of a high rarity card. So the 2 at the front, those can be high rarity. At least one of them will be. So the top left card will always be a high rarity. But again, we're on pick 3 now, which means the next time we get a pack, 2 cards have already been taken out of this pack before we got to look at it. Unfortunately, this is... Did we just take Hillgigas here? I mean, Haste Magic's here as well, which is not bad, but I think Hillgigas might be the pick. I really don't want to get stuck without land, especially in a deck that's so heavily reliant on lands. A Realm Reborn, again, not super useful. Ifrit is really good, though. Which one's Coral Sword? I mean, Coral Sword's really good, but I kind of want this Ifrit. I think I'm taking Ifrit. This is the hard thing. Sometimes you'll get packs that are like nothing you want, and then you'll get a pack that's got like 3 cards you want, and it's like, ah! Why couldn't you spread these out a bit? Number of non-creatures, non-land cards in your graveyard. That's not going to be a lot. Don't think he's worth taking. A second Risey Shupath is pretty good. I think we're probably taking this. Again, there's other cards in here I want as well. I mean, Town Greet is fine. We don't really have a ton of great 2-drops at the moment. Ifrit's good. I think I'm going to take this. I think it has like some pretty good synergy with what we've got. I mean, Suplex is fine. I really don't like Rapier. I guess I'm going to take Iron Giant here. We don't have a lot of, like, bombs at the moment. I'm going to take the land. This has got to be Haste Magic. Hillgigas is pretty good. I mean, none of this really matters. That's not bad. Okay, that is completely not on our colours. I just don't think we can commit to playing Joshua. I mean, Vanille is pretty cool. It's a little bit overcosted, but its effect is decent. The issue is we don't really have many like big bombs to grab. I think I'm going to take this, just because we have so many land, like, triggers. I don't really like the card, if I'm being completely honest. We're also seeing, like, no good red cards here. I think I'm going to take the side quest again. Choco Comet. I think I'd rather have greens, to be honest. Just a more consistent turn 2 curve. I would like the bomb as well. There's another Choco. I think it's Gardener, to be honest. Gardener is really, really good. We don't have that many equipment at the moment. Thunder Magic is also good, but I really think Gardener is just so strong. Warrior's Sword. Are we just taking the Warrior's Sword here? I think we are. Warrior's Sword in general is just really, really good. We don't have that many 4-drops at the moment as well. I really want the bomb, but I don't think I can... That's also really good. Farseek is so good, but I don't think I can pass up the endgame. Like, our endgame right now is so mid. I really need to get, like if we could get a Behemoth, we'd be, like, in a really good spot. How does matchmaking work? Am I getting slaughtered by balanced matchmaking? Also, which queue should I queue into when I play? So it kind of depends what you're looking for. There should be, like, a starter deck mode that will just, like, let you just mess around with cards. And generally, the matchmaking is pretty good. You get, like, different, like, ratings for different modes. So right now on this mode, I am in silver. I was in gold, but we got demoted, unfortunately. Fenrir. Oh, I want both of these. I really want the Fenrir, but I think I need the T-Rex. I think I need endgame. I need stuff to do in the late game. I'm playing green. This is ramp, so I'm going to take it just because we have so many landfall triggers. The community is going to be like, this is what traditionally the Chosen One, I'm guessing. Generally. I mean, they should say, like, what they are on them. We'll take a bomb here. But again, for right now, what you should be doing is just trying to get currency. And to get currency, you just want to, like, play games. You should already have, like, quests that are, like, do things. And that's what you're going to probably do for, like, the first chunk of days or maybe even weeks playing. You're just going to try and get currency, because then you can actually start deciding what you want to do. Like, playing in drafts is generally good because you don't need to already have a big card pool, right? And any of the cards you draft, you get to keep. So it's like opening packs and then, like, kind of pseudo-gambling with them. Do I take another giant here? I think I'm going to take the giant. As much as I think the Ocho is really good. Like, we have so much ramp in this deck. I think we're going to be trying to play to the high-level cards. How many bombs do we have? We already have 2 Blazing Bomb. We already have so many 2-drops. I mean, sure. Magic Pot. You're probably not coming in the main deck. Oral Sword made it all the way around. Okay, this deck is... It's nothing, like, insane. We haven't really got any, like, crazy bombs. But, like, I think the core of this looks okay. So now we have to work out what cards we want to take out. And this is where stuff gets a little bit tricky. Because we got, like, some okay cards in here, but, like... Like, we have so many 2-drops. This is kind of just a better version of greens. But greens, like, we can use twice. Garden is really good. That's our primary form of... I think we probably don't need Shopkeep in here, to be honest. We got 1 removal. Coral Sword is also a weird one. Because this is kind of a combat trick. +1 first strike is really good. Obviously, it'd be better if it was more than +1. Risey Shoepuff is really good. Normally, I don't really like Precious Wanderings, but we've got so many, like, landfall cards. And again, we want to just get up to our, like, high end as soon as possible. This is actually going to be a really difficult one to take cards out of. We got, what, 1, 2... So when does Bomb get the bonus? 4 mana I spent to cast it, put a +1/+1 counter on it. I don't know if Bomb's going to be worth it in this build, to be honest. We don't have that many non-creatures that are going to be 4+ mana. Tomato also ditching Duel Links. Now we're playing something else just for today. Well, I say that. I think on Tuesday we'll be doing something else as well, but... How you doing, Ari? Welcome, welcome. I actually think we don't play the bombs, like, straight up. Which sucks. If we'd got some Sarsis Chocobo, I would be feeling so confident in this, but... How many of these cards are actually playing on turn 2? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a lot. That is a lot of cards. We also don't have any graveyard recursion, which is a little bit annoying. Light of Judgment as well is like, it's expensive, but like, what's our current removal looking like? We got 1, we got 2, we got 3. We got 4. I don't really want to get rid of it. Hi, I just joined. Do you accept suggestions? Yeah, hello, Waltz. Welcome, welcome on in. We can take some suggestions if you want. I think our top end might be a bit too top heavy. So what we might do is take out 1 Iron Giant. Just because we really don't want to like get stuck with that. Hilgigas is like fine. The issue is, I don't know how often it's going to be super useful. I kind of just going to be mountain cycling most of the time. I think Iron Giant is terrible. Iron Giant is actually really, really good. Like, we've been doing a lot of these drafts lately and it's been really, really helpful a lot of the time. The rate is just not that good. The thing is, we're playing red-green, right? Our early game isn't, like, insane, so we have to have a win con. And right now, our win con is basically, like, this. Like, we don't have a good enough pool to be, like, we're just going to play, like, hyper aggro. Feeling pretty good, Tomato, especially after Pyro Cog. Planning on trying Shadowverse 2 next week. Yeah, we were talking about Shadowverse 2 earlier. I don't think we need 2 Hilgigas either way. Fat Chocobo is too good to get rid of. I don't really want to get rid of the removal. But like when I get up to this like 5 mana section, we don't really want to be playing. But it is only 6. 6 is good enough most of the time. I think I'm going to get rid of Light Judgment. I don't really want to, but... Dinosaur and Hilgigas is enough top end. Yeah, but Vigilance, Reach, Trample is just fantastic. For 1 more mana than a Balan T-Rex Ore. You lose the 3 life, but you get Vigilance, Reach, which is like so powerful. Ah, this is tricky. I mean, Coral Sword is like... It's probably staying, right? Haste Magic is like good for trading. 1 more mana is a lot. It's 1. 6 versus 7 is a difference, yes, of 1. Haste Magic feels bad. I mean, it is kind of what I'm looking at the moment. Like, the idea is, in our ideal world, we're putting down just permanents onto the board every turn. If we're not putting down a creature, we're putting down, like, a high-value card. The only issue is Krish's Wanderings. Like, if I play this on turn 3, I feel like it's kind of a bad turn 3. Turn 1, it's just Ochu, which, again, I'd much rather it was Sarsis Chocobo, but it is what it is. I'd also like more Gardeners. More Gardeners, I'd feel a lot more confident with this. Greta is a weird one. Filling up our graveyard doesn't do a lot for us, so it's there basically just to get us an extra land. But that extra land could be really, really helpful, because again, we are trying to get to that high end. Ifrit can also just kind of be fixing. The only reason I went for the Wanderings is because we have Shoepuff and we have Racetrack. And getting all those landfall triggers can just win the game on its own. But I think they're going to be so much more valuable once Racetrack is already on the board. And at that point, like, it's a 5-mana card. Warrior's Sword is meh. Also, Courier Sword isn't for this deck, IMO. I mean, it's just a combat trick that lets you win trades, right? If you have anything that has high power, it's just good. Warrior's Sword is especially good here because we don't really have good 4-drops. Like, our turn 4 is going to be kind of mid. Unless, like, our turn 3 we're ramping and then skipping over it into turn 5, but then we don't have a lot of turn 5. Warrior's Sword doesn't have a lot of synergy in this specific